Hello, everybody, and welcome to this next Career Day interview. I am so excited to conduct this interview with one of our elementary teachers, Miss Elizabeth Quell, and I am also excited to have the help of high school junior Cheyenne Bogus. So thank you both for joining us, and Miss Quell, if you could just start by letting us know what exactly you do and what steps you had to take to get to where you are now.
Absolutely. As Ms. Fritz said, my name is Elizabeth Quell, and I am an elementary school teacher. This year, I am teaching grade 3 in our elementary school, and I've been a third grade teacher for about the past 6 years. So the steps that I had to take in order to become an elementary school teacher is, first and foremost, I had to graduate from high school. Then I had to go through 2 college degree programs. One was an undergraduate program for 4 years, and then I had to graduate with a graduate degree for that was a 2-year program.
Walk us through like a typical day in your field of work.
So a typical day as a teacher usually starts with, I come in the morning, I get settled down, try to figure out what it is that I'm doing for the day. So as an elementary teacher, I really teach every single subject that there is, especially for grade 3. So I am responsible for making sure that I teach ELA, that I teach writing, I'm teaching social studies, science, math. And really the biggest part of being an elementary teacher is making sure that you not only have a consistent schedule, but that the students understand what's expected of them as well. So for this year, our day usually is we have our morning work time, which is focusing on getting in, saying good morning to each other. We have a morning meeting, really understanding what our day is going to be about. And then from there, we usually have ELA or writing. Students also have PE time and art time and music time as well. During those times, those are what we call my prep periods. So during those times, usually about 30 minutes, anywhere from 30 to 45 minutes, I'll be able to get anything ready that I need to in my classroom, whether it be grading, connecting with parents, making sure that everything's established for the day so that my students can be most successful. In there, we also have lunch and recess, of course, most important parts of the day. And one of the more important parts is really at the end of the day, reflecting on how our day went and having a closing meeting so that our students know that this was one day, but we can come back tomorrow and make it an even better day.
I love that. And I feel like that explains your teaching style perfectly. I've seen you in the halls. You are one of the most enthusiastic teachers, and it's honestly just a pleasure to watch you teach. So I feel like I know that you love your job, and I'm wondering, what do you love most about what you do?
So there's really 2 pieces. It's one of the things is those aha moments that students have a lot of the time where they might be struggling with something and they keep going and they keep going and they keep persevering. And then all of a sudden it's like, whoa, I know what I'm doing. And they just get those moments and it's like, yes, this is why we do what we do, because it's so exciting to not only share that experience with them, but for them to feel so proud of themselves. I think the other piece I love is the kids' personalities. Like every single student is so unique and different. And the things that they bring into the classroom really make what our class community is all about. And the stories they tell, let me tell you, they are phenomenal and make me laugh every single day. So I think between those 2, that's why I love teaching so much.
Now you have to have a lot of skills to be a teacher. So like what kind of skills do you need? So like your soft skills and your trainable skills.
So soft skills specifically, I'd say being able to work together with other people. We do a lot of collaboration with other people on our team and then other people that are not on our team. Being able to communicate effectively, not only with your team members, but also being able to communicate with administration, with parents, and with kids themselves too. Definitely really good problem solving skills. You'd be amazed at the amount of problems you face in a day, and you just have to be ready to fire off a solution to those problems. And definitely, I emphasize this a lot, is teamwork, not only with your classroom and the class community that you build, but also being able to establish that with the people that you work with, building that great rapport with the people around you. As far as trainable skills, really, I'd say technology is one of those big pieces. Sometimes technology can be super daunting, but it's really important to not only understand how to integrate technology, but how to integrate it effectively into your classroom. But those technology skills, those are absolutely trainable. I think also anything that is curriculum based. So for example, we're using the Lucy Calkins workshop. Anything that can be taught to you can absolutely be trained. Like it can, you don't have to know how to do it right away. You can absolutely have someone come in, train you how to do it, and then be an effective teacher with it.
Thank you. What would you say are some challenges in terms of being a teacher?
Flexibility. So what I mean by that is, man, sometimes when you're in the middle of a teaching day, a fire alarm will go off. And that is a moment when, oh man, all your plans go out the door, but you have to maintain that flexibility and you have to maintain that ability to kind of think on your feet. So I'd say that that flexibility factor is the biggest challenge because you never know as a teacher what is going to happen next. So you have to be ready for whatever comes your way.
What is your work environment like most days?
I'd say in one word, awesome. I'm super lucky that I work with a lot of amazing people, and the environment that we build really comes from not only what happens inside the classroom, but what happens outside the classroom as well. I know that a lot of my colleagues, especially in Greenville, we work so hard to make sure that every single student feels loved and appreciated every day. And that work environment really brings to like who you are as a teacher, and it makes you feel loved and appreciated too. So I really feel that work environment's important because if you didn't feel those things, you could be the best teacher out there, but if you don't feel appreciated at your job, it's not going to be a pleasant work environment. So I feel extremely lucky to be able to say that it's fantastic because every single one of us do feel loved and appreciated here.
That's awesome. So I'm wondering, and this is a question that you can answer in a general sense if you'd like, because understandably it can vary, but we're wondering what the salary ranges are for various levels in this field. And as a teacher, if there are opportunities for advancement in salary or position.
So as you stated already, this does depend on state. I know that some states are different in their salary ranges, but I've seen salaries anywhere from $32,000 a year all the way up to about $75,000 per year. And again, that depends on where you live. And I think it also depends on what expenses are like surrounding. So for example, if you live out in California, those are going to be a little more expensive versus on the East Coast over here. As far as salary advancement, that also depends on what school you're part of. So we are super lucky because every school has steps. So every year that you stay in a school, you will get a percentage raise. In our school, we have the ability to also have in-service, which means that we get to do professional development outside of our careers that help us become better teachers. And if we do so many hours of in-service, then that can actually be pushed towards raising our salary permanently. I know for an example, my husband's school does not do that, but they still have the same step system where as many years as you are a teacher, you'll get so much money raised.
And were there any classes in middle school or high school that you connected with your job today that helped you get there?
So this question, I grew up in a very small district. So for me, middle school and high school, well, actually, let's backtrack a little bit. Originally, I didn't want to be an elementary teacher. Shocking. I actually went to school to be a music teacher. And what I did in middle school and high school is there was a lot of programs that I was able to be a part of, such as band and select band and jazz band. And I was able to do all of those ensembles. And I really thought in high school and middle school that it was really the teachers that inspired me to actually want to be a teacher. That I just didn't want to be a musician. I wanted to be a music educator because I saw how much those teachers cared about their students. And I was like, I want to be that. I want to like influence these kids to be the best person that they can be. So it wasn't until I actually hit the end of my undergrad career when I became a music teacher that I was like, wait a minute, elementary school seems pretty cool. So I think I'm going to go back to school to be an elementary teacher. So long answer short, they did for the career that I had originally chosen. But ultimately, I really think it was the teachers that really influenced who I became today. So.
Yeah, so just as much about the experience versus a specific class, just kind of
exactly
the environment and being a part of that. I can relate.
Yeah.
Ms. Quell, I just want to thank you for your time. This was a wonderful career day interview. And for our students who have any interest in becoming a teacher, you obviously have all the resources around you to talk more, but Ms. Quell is certainly available if you have any follow-up questions. So thank you, Ms. Quell, and thank you, Cheyenne, for helping me to conduct this career day interview.